We're going to talk to Tiki. Hi, Tiki.
Damn, Spike, you just got to hang up on Sam like a
Nah,
nice
put him on
regular
hold.
caller.
Hold on, Tiki.
Come on, man.
4 o'clock is the call time, bro. 4:07 right now, man.
I mean, Spike told me Thursday.
I don't know if that's true. If it is, I'm sorry.
What's up, brother?
Oh,
What's
good,
up,
man.
T?
How you doing, Ike?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You guys excited about having John Harbaugh up there as your head coach?
No, we are. It's consistent competency, right? You know, that's what we need. And it's been 4 cycles. Well, this is the 5th one where we've hired coaches who we didn't know. I mean, Pat Shurmur's the one exception who had some head coaching ability, but McAdoo didn't his first time. Joe Judge wasn't. It was his first time. And obviously Daboll, it was his first time. Now, he had success early on, but it ultimately petered out. And so with John, we know what the track record is, and we know that it's going to be all about the main thing: football, 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 football. It's in his blood. It's in his family's blood, and you know we're excited for obvious reasons. And we know we have a pretty decent roster. Obviously, it needs some fixing in some spots, but I'm just tired of being irrelevant come December. You know what I mean? As an athlete, especially in our sport, playing meaningful games as you inch up to that playoffs is what's most important, and we haven't had that in 4 years now.
Now, Tiki, I'm going to own this. I did tell you Thursday. I gave you a choice. You picked Thursday.
Ike, on me.
No, but look, well, first of all, to be clear, Ike got on you, not me.
No, that's what he said. He said me.
Yeah, and then so I'm going to own that. I'm going to own it. Now,
It's
we
awesome.
did see the photo with you, Evan, and Sean Morash with John Harbaugh yesterday.
Yes.
If you've been around Evan and Sean long enough, they got to when they dress up, they look like slobs, man. You got to do something about it.
Well, I mean, dressing up is a lifestyle. You have to know how to do it, and it's like repetition. It's like anything. You want to be good at a sport, you got to do it. You got to practice. You want to run fast, you got to practice running fast. You want to dress up and look nice, you got to practice dressing up and looking nice. And I mean, this was mandated for me, for Tom Coughlin. When we went on the road, it was a business trip. You better look the part. Yep. Those guys haven't had to do that. They got faces and I don't know, attires for radio, not for TV.
Well, you know what it reeked of? Both of them have one nice outfit for everything. Weddings, John Harbaugh press conferences, whatever it is. And they're wearing the same ill-fitting one outfit that they wear everywhere. So.
Spike, you nailed it. It's like Ben McAdoo when he had his introductory press conference.
Yeah. So, Tiki, we found out today, Brian Daboll interviewed with the Eagles yesterday for the OC spot. We found out today that he likely is not going to take it. He's either, if he doesn't get the Buffalo job, he's going to end up being the Titans OC. Is it surprising to you that Daboll isn't more interested in the Eagles job?
Very, very, because I made a prediction after Dave got fired where he would land, and my long-term prediction was he's going to get latch on to a team that's going to go to a Super Bowl in 2026. Now, if he goes to the Titans, that's probably not the case. But my thought was the Eagles, right? We knew that Kevin Pasula was on little thin ice as an offensive coordinator. And with the familiarity with Jalen Hurts, having coached in college, it felt like the natural landing spot with all the talent that's there. And I guess I can reach out to him at some point and ask what happened. But the thing that we speculated about today, because we heard that report also, was maybe he's just really loyal to the Giants. Maybe he really doesn't want to be the ire of the Giant fan by going to Philadelphia, recreating that offense. Because, I mean, you guys miss Kellen Moore. That was obvious in a way that makes the Eagles better and gets them right back to another championship. And so that's the only thing I can think of. But I guess Tennessee works, but I don't know. I don't see the immediate upside that would come from rehabilitating yourself with the Eagles, right? And again, it would also, obviously, if you guys did go back and do it again, it would put Nick Sirianni, and your organization in a tough spot because Dave would immediately be a head coaching candidate someplace else. And so it's odd, but I can't really speculate on it other than he loved the Giants so much and he just didn't want to go be an Eagle.
Well, and he's not going to be the Eagles OC, so it doesn't matter that much. But I am curious in that I think he made a lot of mistakes as a head coach. But being a head coach is different than being an OC.
100%.
Do you think Brian Daboll is a good offensive coordinator?
Without a doubt. I mean, we've seen it in every step that he's been at, even at Alabama, where he won a national championship, and they, I guess, collectively made that tough decision with sitting down Jalen Hurts and going to Tua as a staff, and it won them a national championship. But I also think that being a head coach, especially for the first time, there's so much that you have to be able to manage and balance and juggle all at once. That's partly with the players, and I think he's always been a great players coach, but I think it was managing his staff, right, from the offensive coordinator. We all know that the strife that existed between him and Wink Martindale as a head coach, it became explosive. Basically, everybody, all the coaches, that is, trying to throw defensive coaches, throw him under the bus. And the in-game management stuff. I mean, I'll never not think about after we beat you guys at home, which was Jackson Dart's third start, I think it was. We beat you guys, and we go up to Denver, beating them. Like, they're beat. There's 3.5, whatever it is, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it's 3rd and 5. It's run the football so that they have to use their last timeout. Instead, they drop back and throw a pass. It gets intercepted, gets the Broncos in point-blank range. They go and score. And now the pressure is on a young rookie quarterback to make a drive. It goes 3 and out. They come back and tie the game. Ultimately scored whatever it was, 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
The little decisions matter so much from a game management spot. And I think Dave's oftentimes got really cocky about it and did the things that felt gut right as opposed that were analytically right. There's a spot for both of them, right? There's a spot to use your gut and trust your team, but there's also a spot when you're on the road in Denver, which we've seen consistently this year is a hard place to close out a game, right? And we basically threw it away, and it was the end of the season, right? Because after that happened, the Giants couldn't get back on track, even though they were in some of those games.
Tiki Barber, you can hear him on Evan and Tiki middays on WFAN. We actually
Why are you
played your.
Promoting that? None of your listeners are going to listen to us on
Well,
WFAN.
come on. I mean,
talking Mets and Cody Bellinger to the Yankees, and
sister
Jorge
station.
Polanco trying
Come
to play
on.
first base.
We definitely want to hear. We don't want to hear about Bo Bichette.
No, we don't want to hear
we don't
about
want to
that.
hear about
He's on a 1-year deal. He's on a 1-year deal for us, and they're giving a press conference for him like he's going to be there for the next decade.
Well, you guys are my guys. I'll always think of you as my guys. I want to promote it. And
100%.
you mentioning that one instance against Denver, I actually think we played you on the post-game show because you outlined that. You seemed
I went off.
viscerally angry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the few moments really in the last couple of years where I've been seriously pissed because the momentum was about to change for the team. Right, we know the Russell Wilson failed experiment. Those first 3 games, yeah, we were in the Dallas game, but ultimately he just doesn't have what he used to have as a starting quarterback anymore. And there was this belief that Jackson Dart was going to immediately be the savior. And we've seen this with young quarterbacks across the league, right? C.J. Stroud, Jay Daniels. We've seen it over and over and over again, and we felt like that was the moment. And I hate to pinpoint a play, but that was the play.
Yeah.
When I look back on the season in retrospect, now that we've gone through the 18 and we're in the off season, that was the moment in my mind that changed the fortunes of the 25 New York Giants. And it all came down to a decision that shouldn't have been that hard. And so I was pissed about it for a lot of reasons, including at Jackson Dart. But I can't get that mad at Jackson Dart because as I've said since I was playing, I hate rookies, and I don't mean that in a mad way. It's just there are moments where rookies don't know what it takes to win games because they haven't done it enough.
Yep.
And I mean, I think the only one, and you can back this up, Ike, was Jeremy Shockey, who just as a rookie was the man. You know what I mean? He was trucking dudes. He was the perfect tight end in an evolving tight end world. But other than that, they're always going to come a point where rookies not going to know what to do in a moment. And Jackson Dart was put in a position where he made a horrific mistake against the Denver Broncos and ultimately cost us that game.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Mike.
Well, so Mike Kafka has been rumored as a candidate as well.
Yeah.
Now, there was I remember a little bit of friction between him and Daboll, but what do you think of Kafka as an offensive coordinator candidate?
I really like him as an offensive coordinator. I think he got put in a terrible position as the interim head coach, not dissimilar to Jeff Ulbrich with the Jets last year, because they fired the head coach last year. That was Robert Saleh, and Jeff Ulbrich became the interim head coach, but he was still the defensive coordinator. And as a result, everything fell apart. The head coaching fell apart because he wasn't prepared for it. And then the defense took a massive step back for the Jets. The same thing happened with the New York Giants. It's so daunting to have to make all of those decisions, from practice scheduling to what the timing is going to be for the team on the road or for the week, and then you're then having to make coaching decisions where they fire Shane Bowen a couple of weeks later and elevate Charlie Bullen. All those things are hard enough as it is, and then you also have to continue to call plays and make decisions and try to stick to a philosophy. And his philosophy was aggressiveness. And aggressiveness is great until you start doing stupid things like going for it on 4th and 5 from the 4th and 5 from the 7-yard line against the Minnesota Vikings, who have the best red zone defense and one of the best defenses in football. So the decisions get clouded because your plate is too full and you don't know how to handle it yet because it's your first time as a head coach and an offensive coordinator. Guys like Sean Payton, they can do that.
Yeah.
They've been coaching for a long-ass time. Guys like Andy Reid, as much as you guys don't want to – I think you guys are forgiving him at this point. But guys like
I
Andy
love
Reid,
Big Red.
right.
Yeah.
But the fan base wanted to get rid of him. You know what I mean? But at this point in his career, Andy Reid can do anything. You know what I mean? He can get away with it. A first-time interim head coach / coordinator, it's just too much on his plate, and it was almost a disservice to him. With that being said, our red zone offense improved drastically year over year. He was a play caller, then it got taken away from him. He was back to the play caller, and we felt the difference. The run game, which was consistent, the one thing that was consistent, finished top 6 in the league with a little bit of a remade offensive line and Cam Scadaboo till he got hurt, Tyrone Tracy. He called good games. It became too challenging to be the head coach as well. I think he is a good offensive coordinator. If he gets that job down there, I think he's got a lot of good ideas. Some of the trick plays that we threw in. I mean, Jameis Winston caught a touchdown pass from Olszewski. It's in our season. So there are things that are going to be innovative when if he should get his next job, and he's definitely one to look at for you guys.
Yeah, the name is certainly familiar. We drafted him here, I believe, a few years ago, 4th or 5th round quarterback. I like the experience that he has. He's been under some other good OCs and a head coach. So I'm becoming a little more intrigued with the idea of a Mike Kafka. He's young. I don't know. We're also a little concerned. Some others aren't. I am more about continuity. So I kind of want an OC that's going to be here for more than just 1 year and not leave for a head coaching job. He sort of fits that. I don't know if he's head coaching material, but he may be just one of those good play callers that he may get a second bite at the apple of being a head coach a few years down the road, and this could be a place that can help lead him to that after a few years.
You're right, and I think the challenge for any of these young offensive coordinators, and they're becoming fewer that are part of that Mike Shanahan tree from Washington way back in what year was that, 2012. They're becoming fewer and fewer of those guys, and now it's like the extended version of that tree. Bobby Slowick, who was down in Houston a couple of years before he got let go, he was one of those examples. And so I think Mike Kafka is a good choice, but he has gotten head coaching interviews, even if this year it was just with the New York Giants, in each of the last couple of years. And so you create the same problem that you've had every year for the last half a decade, it seems like. And I remember doing a game down there last year in Philly, and I asked Coach Sirianni, I was like, what's going to happen when Kellen Moore gets a head coaching job? Because you know what's going to happen, how explosive that Eagles offense was. You know he's not going to be there next year. What are you going to do? And you can manage it for a little while because you have enough reserves in your own wheelhouse, but ultimately you fall short and you hire somebody who's not ready for the position. Mike Kafka is ready for the position, but you also might lose him in a year or two.
Yeah.
All right, Tiki. Well, how are you enjoying the show's now middays? How are you enjoying working earlier again?
I got to tell you, my work-life balance is so much better. now. And look, the reality, it didn't change my contract, so it is what it is. And Craig is, he's radio icon. So it's,
yeah.
I remember you had that choice, Spike, when he left and decided to go do television, and you had to re-put together the afternoon drive show, and you were gracious enough to ask me to be a part of it, and I loved it for the 2.5, maybe almost 3 years that I did it. But I'm one of those guys that does what I'm told. You know what I mean? I do the best show that I can. The one thing that I told Chris Olivero was, I don't want you to mess with our show, because there was a thought that Evan would go back and be with Craig, but then that would put my show in a bind. And so we're basically the same show. Tommy he's doing the overnight show now, but our show is essentially the same, and it feels the same. And we just want to talk sports, right? We don't want to do all that other hokey stuff and and non-sports related things. We bring it up every now and then, but we want to talk sports. We want to talk about the
hard-hitting sports talk.
The Yankees, right? And I think that's what people want to hear when you listen to sports talk radio, especially in the midday.
Yeah, well, every once in a while, Morash will have an accident in the studio, but aside from that, it's forced.
Dude, he's learning. He's never worked the board, really. I mean, he's kind of sat there, but Pipilotti was doing the board when he was on the network side. So he's learning. He's getting better, and the show is still fun.
All right, Tiki. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm sorry I told you Thursday and then got you on Wednesday. So thank you for adjusting on the fly.
You guys are my favorite part of Philadelphia.
I'll take that.
And you're our favorite barber.
That's right.
There's no doubt about that, because you hate the other one.
We do. All right, Tiki.
All right,
Thank
brother.
You,
take care.
See you, boys. Take care.
There he is, the great Tiki Barber.